They told her she was too much, too emotional, too loud, too soft, too bold, too quiet. So one day she stopped listening, and she chose herself. This is the story of what happens when a woman finally stops waiting for permission. When she chooses her peace over pressure, her dreams over doubt, and herself over everyone else's expectations. You see, she spent years trying to be enough. Enough for her family, enough for society, enough for people who only saw parts of her they could use, control, or criticize. Every room she walked into, she felt like she had to shrink to fit someone else's comfort. Until one day she broke, and in that brokenness, she found clarity. The only person who had the right to define her was her. It didn't happen overnight. Growth never does. Her awakening began the moment she realized silence wasn't peace. It was suppression. She started questioning everything. Why am I constantly exhausted? Why do I feel guilty for resting? Why do I say yes when my soul is screaming no? She started noticing how much of her life had been spent pleasing others while abandoning herself. That was her turning point. She whispered to herself, "I deserve more." The first thing she let go of was the need to be perfect. No more flawless filters, no more proving, no more people-pleasing. She stopped apologizing for being emotional, intuitive, sensitive, or strong. She started listening to her own voice, the one she silenced for years. That voice said, "You are not too much, you are just enough, for you." She chose stillness over hustle, healing over hiding, boundaries over burnout. And for the first time, she breathed. Choosing herself looked like saying no without explaining, leaving rooms that didn't clap for her growth, cutting ties with people who only loved her when she was useful, sitting alone without feeling lonely, sleeping peacefully, not from exhaustion, but peace. Choosing herself looked like protecting her energy as fiercely as she once protected other people's feelings. It looked like crying when she needed to, laughing without guilt, dressing for her joy, not someone else's approval. It wasn't about becoming selfish. It was about becoming whole. She didn't announce it, she didn't post about it, she didn't beg for support, but people noticed. Her light started glowing differently. She walked slower but stood taller. Her silence was no longer emptiness. It was power. Some people left, some mocked her, but the ones who stayed truly saw her. Because when she chose herself, everything around her began to align. Health improved, friendships deepened, love became real, not desperate, and purpose finally knocked on her door. Let's talk about how you can choose yourself too. No fluff, just genuine, powerful steps. 1. Create non-negotiables. What are the things you refuse to compromise on anymore? Sleep, peace, kindness, time, energy? Define them. 2. Stop emotionally over-investing in people who underdeliver. Love them, but don't lose yourself trying to fix or please them. 3. Say yes to things that stretch your soul, not stress it. That means learning to pause before answering, choosing intention over impulse. 4. Protect your mornings. Start your day for you. Don't check your phone. Don't serve others before you serve your peace. 5. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Courage isn't loud, it's simply honest. 6. Forgive yourself for staying too long, for settling, for surviving. You did what you knew. Now do better. 7. Celebrate your soft parts. The world will praise your strength but mock your softness. Embrace both. You are allowed to be powerful and poetic. She didn't become fearless. She just stopped letting fear win. She didn't become perfect. She just accepted herself. Flaws, scars, shadows, all of it. And because she chose herself, she inspired other women to do the same. She became a mirror, not a mask. She led without leading. She healed generations just by being herself. Her life didn't suddenly become easy, but it became hers, fully. So to every woman watching this, you don't need permission. You don't need to be picked. You don't need to be understood by everyone. Choose yourself, not once, not twice, but every single day. And I promise, everything will change, because when a woman chooses herself, the world remembers her name. If this message stirred something in you, share it with a woman you love. Let this be a reminder. You are not here to shrink. You are here to shine. Subscribe for more stories that speak to your soul, and until next time, choose you every time.